Hey guys, welcome. Oh, I didn't realise I was recording there. I'm really excited again today. I've got over my anxiety about not being able to do things, and I mean the film's delayed for other reasons now. Specifically, okay, I called this song, my new release for the new film, Renaike's song. Renaike is the main character in the book. And my distributors are concerned that I'm using another artist who I'm not paying for. So when you work with a distributor like TuneCore, they charge you a set amount per year for distributing per artist. Do you see what I mean? So they think I'm sneaking in another artist there. Of course, I'm not, but he is a character. So we're in a sort of discussion at the moment as to whether I can keep that name. I'd like to keep it as Renaike's song because it's so, all of these songs are part of the musical and each character has their own theme tune. And that's quite important, for the whole concept, really. So there's been a bit of a delay with that. I may have to change it. I'll let you know later what they say to me. Either way, it'll reference the first chapter and what have you, but later on when they because it's a love story as well, and when he has this relationship with Shabra, I want to do their song, I want to do their theme tune, so Renaike and Shabra's theme tune. So it would kind of put a bit of a dampener on things if I'm not allowed to do that. So, but it may just be a bit of tweaking that needs to be done. And I've explained that I own the rights. You've got to be very clear because it's all about copyright as well and things like that. Very important when you're working in digital media that, nobody's toes are getting stepped on and what have you. Exciting, though, very exciting to learn all these wonderful things that I've learnt in the last week or 2 weeks. Some other delays around, not the recording's fine. And do you know what I did yesterday? I just recorded on an iPad just to see what it sounded like. So I recorded the narration, a bit of it, on the iPad, and then I put it into my new software, which is Final Cut Pro on the iPad version. And I used the noise filter, and it was only bloody perfect. Can you believe that? Absolutely bloody perfect. And I thought, God, I've spent 2 weeks piddling around with a big studio mic, which, is obviously very sensitive. But if you're making, and I know this from university, they told us this very early on, always listen to your music in the most likely way that people are going to listen to it. And people are probably going to watch my films on a phone, on a bit of handheld hardware. So, I'm sort of thinking today, well, do I just do that, literally just record it? I've got an auto cue now as well, and it's so simple to do that. The visuals, because I'm cartoonizing myself, it's it doesn't really matter. It's just finding a line. The software there just finds a line of me and does that accordingly. If you can hear that noise, I don't know if you can, Romeo is scratching his claws on my carpet. So what else have I been doing? Well, I just found a beautiful song. Do you know what? I love working with classic. I do a lot of public domain stuff, a lot of it, because it's such a rich tapestry. Hello, darling. It's such a beautiful thing. And I don't find, some days I just think nobody's coming out with anything that I like. I'm an old lady. I grant you that. But modern music really is, I think everyone can agree, it's quite lacking because so many people are just reliant on AI to make it. And, I was thinking about Beyonce doing all these cover versions of country songs, Texas Hold'em High and all that. She's gone back. And the reason she's gone back is because they're so bloody good. Those songs are fantastic. Anyway, I'm uploading all of these really wonderful little talk tones, I call them, little snippets of poetry and the reader's really exciting, really animated. I quite like him. And I just uploaded one called Land of the Leal, and it's a Scottish poem, even though it's in the Best English Poems book. And it's in the public domain, guys, so you could use this. I'm going to use it as well. I'm going to make... I'm going to use a lot of poems after I've uploaded this film. I'm going to do a collection of dance tracks using these beautiful lyrics and the tunes, because I mean they're just so special. They really are, and I'm really into these love poems. Now it was in a film. I'm sorry to say I can't remember the film, but if you look it up, Land of the Leal, on YouTube, you will find some beautiful, just haunting versions of it. Really, really spectacular. I mean, breathtaking. Do you know what I mean? So the thing about looking at the past is you learn so much. And I think that's just so special for musicians. I mean, we do that, don't we? We look back. Nostalgia is really the ruler of music taste, isn't it? When you get to a certain age. But if you go back even further, I mean, I'm talking about going back 100 years or 200 years. So these very old folk songs, and I'm quite into folk at the moment, are utterly spectacular. And I'm going to do something that I think is exciting with them. So I've got hundreds to put up. So, and they're all free. So you can just use them. You can use the lyrics. You can adapt the lyrics. There is no stipulation to keep the lyrics the same. You don't have to do that. Public domain means you can do whatever you like with it. So you could sample it for, some heavy bass. You could, maybe don't do that because that's what I'm going to do. You could, you could turn it into a rock track. I mean, there's so many things, so many great ideas. As you know, the Telltale is all about the word. I mean, it's really... I thought I came up with a tagline that I quite liked, the home of spoken words. I thought, I think that says what the Telltale Club does. Of course, we're an orchestra as well, but, we use the words and we speak them generally, mostly. So I don't know, I might use that as our tagline. I'm really looking for a tagline, and then I've got to do a logo, which is the trickiest thing, I did do one the other day, which I quite liked, based on Athena, who is the god of knowledge, I believe. It was only a couple of weeks ago, but my brain has become quite frazzled with, all of this stuff with the films. Now, getting back to the film, I've gone back to the black and white. I just adore the black and white. Also, I'm using a pen, and I can draw over on Final Cut Pro. There's a pen facility, so you just use your iPen and you can draw over stuff. It's just so exciting, really exciting. So if there's something you don't like, you can kind of rub it out. And if there's, I haven't tried the rubber. No, you can't rub out the actual film, but what you could do is cover it up with white. So using a monochrome palette is really, kind of working, because it means you sort of get back to that ink drawing, which I was very, very good at. So I'm absolutely thrilled with how things are going, but they are going to take a bit longer. And I've just become so obsessed with making Chapter 1 the best possible beast that it can be. I've re-uploaded a slightly tweaked print version as well, which is on Kindle. And today I'm hoping that I can get the graphic novel done. I really do think I'll be able to get that up today. And there's a lot of pages, about 48 pages, guys, just for the first episode. I mean, this is so exciting, isn't it? This is like, now we're talking. Now things are starting to come together after 3 years of work and experiment and learning and understanding what you can do, what works as a visual concept, what doesn't work, just what music works, what sound effects work, all of these things. And it's only going to get better. I can spot mistakes in it that it's too late to rectify. there's a bit of repetition in paragraphs. And, that, not to make excuses, when it was initially made, I had different descriptions for all the pictures, quite detailed descriptions. So you can kind of do that in titles. So you can kind of say, Renaik was asleep on the floor, and you do an exciting caption. Do you see what I mean? And there was a rat. Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing. And then, but actually, you don't need to say that again. But where I had a lot of images, because it was very much a graphic thing and a movie thing, a lot of movie clips. And when I copied all the words, they kind of stayed in. And now they've sort of become tied with the imagery that I've done. And it just feels that it's too late to go back and rehash it. There comes a point when you're cooking leftovers where you have to just accept what it is. Do you see what I mean? But I'll know, guys, for episode 2, which, are you going? Yes, baby. Well, he actually wants me to talk to him for a minute because I'm not giving him enough attention. Hello, gorgeous. Hello, gorgeous. There we go. Do you know what? My mum, when I ring her in the mornings, which I've banned her from ringing me now in the mornings, she's allowed to text, because she rings me when the budgie's out, right? And it's so annoying. And I just did that with the cat. She does it with the budgie. And the budgie is... oh, there we go. He's gone. The budgie is completely obsessed with her and sits on her head and pecks her phone while she's trying to talk to me. And all I can hear is her telling the budgie to stop biting and the budgie making weird munching noises on her phone. So I've actually banned her. I said, just don't phone me, just text me. I see her nearly every day, so it's, I'm not being nasty or anything. But anyway, I'm sorry about that little cat interlude. So yeah, very excited. I'm just about to do my shorts. Just quickly then, we've got a couple of minutes left. The Neil Patel system of business branding that I used, which incorporates his idea of doing 4 shorts a day, is really paying off. I've got 20,000 views on my YouTube in the last 28 days. I mean, we've only been doing this for a couple of weeks, if that. How fantastic is that? I mean, that's rocketed. It's gone up by, I think, 475% or something. My YouTube visits. And the thing about the visits, I don't make money. I don't make a penny through YouTube. But what it does do is it feeds my websites. And all the websites have been much busier. So this is all work. This is what branding is about. Now, the other thing is I was on my bicycle yesterday and I realised what my business model is based on after 3 years of being slightly experimental, throwing mud at things and seeing if it sticks. And at the end of this year, I'm going to publish the How to Make a Business in the Creative Arts book. But I'm hoping that by the end of the year, I would have had a little bit more kudos from successful things that I'm doing. And because at the moment, I'm an embryo. But I think I've got some really good advice because I think things are going so well. And I've got a system. I'm sticking to it. I understand it. It works well with my brain and it works really well with creative subjects and creative people, creative practitioners, but also creative products. And I am just a product after all, or what I make is a product. I'm the brand and the product is, the words and the music, the books. I've also come out as a graphic novel artist, which I didn't really identify with before. But after making this film and doing this book, I think I can clearly say with head held high that I am a graphic novel artist. And I just think that's it's quite rock and roll, isn't it? It works really well with the written word. But it's okay to be an old lady to do it, I think. So yeah, I'm really pleased. I'm just pleased at everything today. So I'm in high spirits. And let's go and do some shorts, and they'll be up in a minute all over all the social media, which I hate. And big one, telltaleclub.com. See you over there, guys.